2019, I competed and I won my first world championship in latte art. And since then, I'm all used up. I'm retired. I don't compete anymore. I don't pour anymore on a competitive level. And frankly, they say I'm rusty. If you touch me, you're gonna get tetanus. That's how rusty I am. But today, we are actually going to attempt some of my classic pours that I used to compete with using the new Flair steam pitcher. And we're gonna do it with the handle and without the handle. And we're also gonna use the Flair Wizard to be steaming our milk and the Flair 58 Plus too. Honestly, it's all Flair. We're Flair in the house today, baby. So yeah, let's get embarrassed. Kind of starting off, I have two different pours that I was able to find out of my closet. It took me a long time to dig up these photos. But right there, you can see we have one Rosetta and two of these winged tulips with a very heavy frame. So we're gonna try to recreate both of these pours, and ideally we'll recreate these two specifically because I feel like out of them, these were the best ones. So maybe we should start with the tulip because the tulip is a little bit more complex in theory. So this is a wing 1-3. It's kind of a simple idea for a complex tulip. I mean, it is still hard to do, but it's on the simpler edge. It's not like we're doing a wing, encapsulated wing again and then adding a ton of layers. We're doing a very simple but clean execution of this pour. But there is one caveat. You might notice when looking at this photo that the base wraps up and around and back over the middle wing. That idea is what's gonna make this a little bit trickier. And the trick to doing that is actually you're going to take the pitcher and land higher up in the cup. You're going to let a little bit of a blob, I love the word blob, form, and then you're going to launch it to the back of the cup. And when you land at the top, you give it a beat to form that blob, and then you're going to push through the blob while maintaining a stream that's going to catch what you just did and basically pull it with the stream that you're now making. So you formed a base at the top, you're gonna push through the base, and then what's gonna happen is it's going to drift towards the back of the cup, and then hopefully, if you did everything right, it'll create a really beautiful frame for your winged tulip. And this is something that I think makes the pour more beautiful, makes the pour more natural looking, and is a little bit trickier to do in competition. I always say, if the bases are aces, you win first places. Let's see if we can do it. I've also got this. This is really silly. The last time I wore this thing, my partner made fun of me for like an entire week. Look at it dangle. I could do this all day. Gotta get that juicy crema. Okay. My favorite thing about the Wizard is that you can just take it and move it anywhere you want. It's kind of cool. Alrighty, we'll swirl both. Ooh. I'm pretty close at this point. Now, I got a little weird there and I had a little break in my base, but look. You can see I'm one stack away from doing this just right. I could open up the color here a little more, but I'm not mad at the fact that the base got pretty good color. It got pretty good lines. And then again, this beautiful, like kind of double wrap over that middle layer. Gosh, I feel like I can do it in one more, but I don't know. Screw it. I'm gonna donate a trophy to charity every time I mess up a pour, so don't worry. Ooh. Okay, that is by far the closest I think I'm gonna get. That's actually really good. That's actually really close to what it's supposed to look like. I wish I had like a mil more milk to do that cut through a little better. You can see I was kind of running out of milk and I drug through the cut through a little weird, but I mean, I would say that that's really close. Like, look at that. Like, those look like they're from the same family, right? I don't know. That looks pretty good to me. Maybe I do still got it. Maybe, a little bit. Definitely, like, the hook is the same. But the open hearts up here could have been spaced a little better, I think. And that last one could have been held longer. If I had a little bit more milk, I would have been able to do the cut through a little sharper. Yo, I will take that. And I will sip it. So for this next pour, we're gonna work on what is called the Rosetta Revolution. The idea behind this is that you have kind of a minimal amount of wing to your base, but you have these wide open leaves for the Rosetta. It's very impressive. The kind of core element of it is that you're swinging the pitcher so wide and you're pulling it back so quickly that you get these beautiful pockets of brown. Now, normally when I'm pouring this Rosetta, I'm using a super wide open pitcher, one that is basically no lip at all. But you can get away with that with a normal pitcher without having to go and buy a gargantuan sized round spout thing. And I'll show you how to do it. At the core, a Rosetta is just a wave. So the more rounded that the exit path of your milk is, the more wavy your milk is gonna be whenever you start to ripple. And to get away with that with a pitcher like this, we are actually going to take off the handle and we're gonna pour from the side of the pitcher where it's the roundest. What's really cool about this pitcher is you literally can just take off the handle and use it as a handleless. So for this, we're just gonna unscrew the side like so. And then we have our Rosetta Revolution pitcher. So the idea is we're gonna hold it from the side like this, and we're gonna swing the pitcher really wide. We're gonna form a normal wing base, but when we do the pullback, we're gonna pull back quicker, and we're gonna switch our flow and make sure we're going wider. We also wanna make sure that we wanna fill the cup up enough that when we're level, that we're not at a weird angle and we're sinking some of those Rosetta leaves. We wanna make sure that we're pulling back as the cup is leveling out so that we have a beautiful shape that doesn't disappear on you. We're gonna go in real hard from the side with the side of the pitcher, essentially. Let's give it a try. We're so in. We're so in. Forgot to start my shot. Oh no. Ooh, I was a little thin. All right. That's not a bad attempt. It's just a little thin. So I'm gonna go a little bit more in the texture and we're gonna try one more. But you can see what I mean. So like as soon as you start pouring and you're doing the wave, it's super natural. You're gonna get these little pockets of brown almost effortlessly. That's not bad. Well, I'm not exactly perfect, and I wouldn't say that I should be competing anytime soon, but I will say these got pretty close to what I used to be able to do back in 2019, and that was all with stuff you can use at home. And don't be afraid to play around with different ideas like pushing frames and using the sides of pitchers. And again, I want to shout out this pitcher because it is so modular. Thanks for hanging out with me. And again, like, subscribe, and do all the stuff below, and go pour your lard out. Heart out.